Hypnosis is powerful because it has a mind-altering effect. Hypnosis is different to other forms of therapy as the mind is fully open when a state of relaxation has been achieved. There are certain parts of the activity within the brain which are affected by this opening up of the reality space. Reality changes when there is an acceptance within the conscious and unconscious mind space. If you could imagine the brain as it functions, as the light moves through each terminal, each section of the mind, when an individual is in a state of hypnosis, this function is expansive. The opportunity for change is very different during a state of pure openness. The capacity to understand the requirements for how change can be brought into the life of a human being is different when the eyes are closed and the gateway to certain memories can be accessed. If we were to look at the energy moving through the mindscape when a human being is in the hypnotic state, very different channels are opened. It is an interesting one to observe, as it would not be recognized without the able to view inside of the mind. Hypnosis is powerful because a structure is built, a structure of the pathways within the brain is adapted, and the unconscious and the conscious become one. In the moment of hypnosis, the conscious mind is put to one side, as it were, and the ability to work with the more usually submissive part of the mind is available. This quiet part of the mind which sits in the background, the backdrop to all human behaviours, is accessed. There is worth in conscious work, but in this form there is much more opportunity for change to take place on a deeper level. There is the ability to restructure what happens after the event. There is the opportunity to acknowledge this quieter part of the mind. One would think that the mind is equal and there is always a chance to work with both areas, but this is not so. When the human being is in a more thinking state, when the conscious parts of the mind are sparking, then the ability for change becomes so much more limited, as the conscious part is taking control. It is the controller, in fact, in all human activity. It has an enormous part in keeping the human being safe. It is required very much in the everyday living. But often this approach of only working with the consciousness does not provide complete fulfillment, does not provide access to the parts of the mind which contain patterns which have been adopted over time, but which may not always be of a long-term benefit. Hypnosis is an unusual form and has been known to provide positive outcomes for many centuries. Various cultures throughout the world have used hypnosis in all of its forms to access new worlds, to access new spaces within time, to access various dimensions. And this is all possible when the conscious mind has been put to one side and the unconscious, the quieter, submissive part of the mind has the ability to come to the forefront. This work is important. This work is powerful. This work holds new concepts, and there are no boundaries as to what can be achieved when a human being moves into the hypnotic state. It is understood that there have been many famous people throughout the years who have accessed information in order to carry out their pioneering work through working in this way. On a daily basis, the conscious mind has a thorough recognition that it is of the utmost importance, and this is also true. But the unconscious, that is a different story. The unconscious, the subconscious as you call it in your work, has ultimate control when a human being is within the hypnotic state. There is vast opportunity available. When you ask about hypnosis, we understand that this is a desire for you to explain how your work can help the other human beings on this earth. And what we would like to share in this moment with open communication is that hypnosis is of a different nature. It is expansive. It is beyond the powers of any other form of mind access. There are so many who can benefit from this work. Accessing the mindscape in this way allows new ways to be born. The new ways are a link into different worlds and different opportunities. These links allow movement through memory into the past and into the future. This is working with the soul memories. This is working not with just one soul, but with a group community, which you like to call the subconscious. This group community will bring forward the requirements for the individual. This group community can see and recognize the links and the pathways within the mind of the individual. It's interesting, as we are talking about one mind, but really we are talking about all minds. We are talking about the connected consciousness available through all living beings, all living creatures, those who have experienced many lives and those who are on a new path. It is interesting to consider what this really means. If we were to delve deeper into what this connection is through so-called group consciousness, what we would like to offer you as a visualization is something close to the Akashic records, is something close to the tapestry of all those who are living and breathing, all of those who are part of the natural state. Each mind is like a logbook. It is a library of information, and when a human being is in the hypnotic state of quantum healing hypnosis, the access to all of these minds is available. It is a phenomenon that many will find outside of their ability to understand, and this is the way that often many think that if something is outside of what they believe to be the truth, then it cannot be the truth. But this is not so. As we observe and witness your work, we understand exactly how the human brain can connect with all that is living. It is not just wisdom from one, it is wisdom from all. There is no singularity attached to the experience of hypnosis. It may feel for many that their memories alone are singular to them, but when one works with the subconscious, the memories and the information, the knowledge, the patterns of research which have taken place over eons and eons come to the forefront in an unusual way. The aspect of hypnosis is one that should be considered magical, for it is magical. It is how we see humanity moving forwards with its wisdom in the future. There is a need for the conscious mind to be put aside. There is a need for this part of the human to be accessed in order for creativity of a masterful level to become part of reality, to move that wisdom and those eons of knowledge from alternative cultures in the past to be brought forwards. And we are now showing you an Egyptian lifetime where knowledge of mental transmission was something which took place on a regular basis. This was through the opening up of the mindscape. This was through allowing the conscious part of the mind to sit to one side, and for many minds to be connected. The power within this connection can move mountains. You will understand from the Egyptian culture that so much was achieved, and this was achieved through a state of putting aside the conscious mind and working with this other area. So much can be achieved, not only for the single human alone, when it comes to making changes within the life, but should a group of humans sit in a room together and move into the state of hypnosis together, more can be achieved than you could ever imagine. The connected consciousness can do wonderful things, and what is very interesting to offer you in this space, and which may be something for your work in the future, is to bring together a group to place in one space, in one room, a group of individuals who are open to working in this way, and to move them into the state of hypnosis, and to allow those minds to connect on a level which would not be achieved should they be in conscious mind aspect. If they are to work together, they can share exactly the same memory. There can be one individual who could be chosen as the leader of these memories. One individual can open up their mind to each of the others, and exactly the same visuals will be experienced. Exactly the same memories can be seen. And what is also interesting about this structure, bringing this energy source into a community space, means that many gifts can be brought forward from past lives. Should there be an intention to work in this way, we would be happy to assist. We would be happy to bring forward the memories for you from far back cultures. Therefore, the gifts could also be travelled into the current lifetime, and gifts which would offer human beings more understanding of what life should really be about could be obtained within this group community environment. It would be an exercise that we would be very open to being part of. We would enjoy for you to have this experience, and perhaps at the beginning there should be one or two bodies involved in this linking of the unconscious minds. But we could see in the future that there is opportunity for many more. Once the way of working has been put into practice and the awareness has been opened to this state, then so much can be achieved. We see this to be on your path in the future. It is wonderful to watch how the linking between the brains takes place. We can offer you this now as a vision if you would like. What we are showing you is the energy source moving from one brain to another, as the energy and the light, as it were, moves through the soft part of the mind. It is bringing with it an opening of a doorway, an opening up of the past and the future. There is a link between how the consciousness and what you call the unconsciousness become part of the practice, and within that the opportunity for visual mastery can take place. It is interesting to see how, as this linking happens, the visuals are shared, and with those visuals comes knowledge, empowerment, abundance of wisdom and creativity. It is to be understood that this wisdom should be used to fulfill the potential of the human being as it is now. But we know that this is safe for us to share with you, as you are an honourable individual and you help so many. We feel that it would be important for this particular practice to be shared. When working in this way, so much can be achieved. Hypnosis is a state of empowerment externally and internally, through the collective, through all of those living on this earth plane, and for all of those living in alternative realities, alternative dimensions, on opposing planetary systems, within the angelic realm, the spirit realm, and beyond. Hypnosis is an unusual form of energy as it accesses each one of these planes, and this is what is to be understood from this message.